Hey everyone, Estrongel here, and welcome to the RuneCraft 1.3.6.0 update overview. This update contains several reworks to a few of the existing systems, as well as some brand new features and a long overdue addition to the add-on. If you'd like to follow along, the patch notes are going to be linked down in the description. Thank you. So in the new update for RuneCraft, the add-on has been localized in over a dozen languages. I think all the ones that Minecraft supports now have proper translations. It took me several weeks to basically set up to get it working properly. However, please note that in order to translate the text, I used a program, so there might be some mistakes here and there. So that being said, if you spot any incorrect words, please just let me know. I can fix those, and hopefully I can get them to carry over to the next updates when I have to redo translations. The other issue boils down to scripting limitations. So the current system for commands using exclamation point, whatever the text is, scripting is limited right now to where I can't make these strings translatable into other languages. That basically means that whatever translation, whatever language you're playing in, you will still need to type the English version of the command. Yeah, and that's just kind of a limitation of scripting that hopefully I'll be able to fix in the future. Moving to the menu changes, you're going to notice a few of the forms look a little bit different, or a few of the options. Mainly the addition of the world messages and skill interface option, as well as the change to experience output to be sort of a toggle now. Previously it would open up a separate menu, but I realized it just was more efficient to let you just be able to press it to turn it on and off. The skill interface you see here is a new display on your HUD. You're going to see it over on the right of my screen, or middle right. It shows your total level, combat level, and then all of your current skill levels. That way you don't have to do like exclamation point stats or have a stat tracker in your inventory to use that. The only thing is I can't show experience on there because obviously that would take up way too much space on the screen. But yeah, you can toggle that on and off here, or you can type toggle stats, stat display enabled, toggle stats. You can do the same thing with experience output. I think it's toggle exp. Yep. And then the last one is world messages. So every 30 minutes, you're not going to see it coming up here. There will be basically like a server message that gets sent out to everybody in the world. You will have the option to disable those. The world messages just usually say like a little bit of a tip or just some info, general info about the add-on. If you don't want to see those, you can just disable it. The one thing that won't get disabled by toggling that will be the welcome message, but that doesn't really interfere with gameplay at all, so I figured I would just keep that in. And this is generally just so you know what version you're playing on and what version of Minecraft this will work with. Okay, so that's pretty much it with the new systems. Let's go over some of the reworks, starting with prayer. The prayer system basically got a full rewrite into how it functions. It's all through scripting now, and before it was being done through behavior pack animation controllers, and it had a lot of problems with it. So the first major change was I removed prayer loadouts. So if I give myself a prayer book, there's now only a singular loadout, and what this is going to do is it reduces a lot of the clutter that was in the old menu. So it's just a single page, all the prayers and all the slots visible. So the green means we have a slot like allocated with levitation. I can disable that, and I can also just enable these and disable them as I want. For some reason, I don't have my prayer stuff displayed. There we go. But yeah, we can see all three of the ones we have selected. Red means that all of our slots are taken up. If you try and click on it, it says all prayer slots are currently filled. So we can just disable one of them and then select another one. The other thing is if I were to set explore players, set as, set my prayer level. Let's just set it up really high. All my slots are filled now. However, there are similar prayers in tier 2 that we will be able to still select, and that'll obviously just disable the tier 1 version. One of the other changes was that you can now have all of your slots be filled with a tier 2 prayer. That being said, it does get very costly on your prayer points. Obviously, like I'm losing 4 to 5 per second, which is very expensive. So you just have to kind of manage it and balance it to basically use whatever you want it to be. Because of all of these changes, it meant I needed to more accurately be able to track just how many prayer points the player was using. So the previous system was a little bit broken. It would basically allow players to quickly toggle their prayers on and off, and within a certain time frame, if you were to toggle them on and off, you would not lose any prayer points. And so that was obviously a really bad exploit. So this new system that I designed will now calculate the number of ticks that the player had the prayers active, and then it will deduct the points accordingly. The equation is something like what? So there's 20 ticks in a second, so it basically just counts 1 tick per, or it counts it by ticks, and then it will be like, oh, your prayers cost 30 points. You were using them for 10 ticks. We're going to deduct your prayer points by half of the normal cost. And so that way you do have a generally like new way of managing your prayer points. If you want to say, let's just use this little spot right here. So normally if I have this active, that's going to cost me a lot of prayer points. However, I could just activate it really quickly and then turn it off, and then it only cost me 2 prayer points there. One of the other changes that were made, I'm just looking at my notes here. Oh yeah, so altars were previously disabling. This was in the last update. Interacting with an altar while your prayers were active would just immediately disable your prayers. People did not like that because I mean I can see why they wouldn't like that. If they're doing something and they just need to refill it, or they need to switch something really quick, you don't want them disabling your prayers. So now it'll just give you a message saying you cannot modify your prayers while they are active to cover that. And I think the last change, oh yeah, so one of the other changes, if a prayer is locked, you can still see it. You can see all of the prayers that you could equip, regardless of whether they're locked or unlocked. And if you click on a locked one, it'll just tell you what the requirements are in order to use it. And then now the last change was the regeneration effect. You can see I don't have the normal vanilla regeneration effect up there. However, the regeneration effect that the vanilla Minecraft uses is really bad. It causes a lot of issues with just activating that effect over and over again that get really annoying to try and handle through scripting. So I just made my own regeneration effect. So the new change of this is that health regeneration tier 1 will regenerate 0.2 health per second, and then the tier 2 version will be 0.4 health per second. And obviously you can't see that because our health is being displayed as an integer. However, the actual like health in game is a floating point value. And then in terms of bugs, there's a annoying bug in the last update that I missed that made it to where you could not bury bones and essences on the ground. So the only way was to use it on an altar. And I'm not sure why I'm not getting prayer XP right now. I am. Sorry, I have my output toggled off. So I am getting points. So the bug was that they wouldn't be able to be buried on the ground, and so that's fixed. Moving on to the stamina system, at this point, it's been reworked and changed several times, probably like 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 times. I'm hoping it's now in a spot where I'm happy with it and where there won't be a lot of breaking changes. So, fingers crossed. In terms of bug fixes, stamina regeneration has been very inconsistent. So the issue that was happening was that when a player would stop running, a timer would sort of tick down that would say, hey, after a second, we're going to regenerate stamina. So after a second from not sprinting, you get stamina back. However, if a player were to start sprinting in that timed interval, so let's say it takes 20 ticks for it to regenerate stamina. If a player would start sprinting between tick 1 and 19, the system would not detect that, and the player would still receive stamina back, or it would regenerate. So basically, a player could start sprinting now and sprint again, and it would give them stamina. So this could also be abused by doing bunny hopping, or bee hopping, and they would in the old system they would just regenerate stamina while they're doing this, and so that exploit is fixed. And the other change that I'm happy about is the debilitating effects that I was giving when a player would run out of stamina. I felt like was too harsh. So before it was giving mining fatigue, weakness, and slowness whenever you ran out of stamina, and it would give it for a decent amount of time, I think. I don't know if I changed that already. However, now it's just going to give you a slowness 1 effect. And so that's all I'm going to get. It won't impact your defenses. It won't make you weaker. It's not going to give you mining fatigue either. It's just slowness. And it's only going to be for 3 seconds. Once those 3 seconds are up, you can start running again. Yeah. The last changes in this update is going to involve thieving. So thieving has had a bit of a problem for a while now, in that it is extremely difficult for somebody who's just starting out. Let's say they only have 1 village, and it's all purely up to chance too for somebody to be able to have a nitwit villager that they can steal from in order to start training thieving. So the change I made was targeting that. Let me summon some villagers. The change was that unskilled villagers or jobless villagers, whatever you want to call them, are now stealable from at level 1. So as soon as I get one that does not have a job, well, obviously I can steal from nitwit villagers, and my thieving level is 120. Let me just change that to 1 just so it's actually visible. And so if I can get a villager to become jobless, what do I need? Can I give them a job and then take that job away? What's something that gives them a job? So a barrel? I would love to have an example for this. While hopefully one of them changes to have the fisherman job, what this basically impacted was it changed the thieving. Okay. It changed the thieving unlocks to where nitwits and jobless villagers are now at level 1, and I updated basically the leveling chart and the level unlocks. Generally, that's not right. I'll fix that. Generally, the level gain you're going to need to get between different unlocks for thieving is going to be longer now, because I wanted it to be more in line with the other systems, other skill systems that are in place in the add-on right now. But I also adjusted the XP gains, so overall it should be about the same experience to level up. But yeah, hopefully that helps out thieving a lot, because I know there are a lot of complaints about this one. And that's going to be it for the 1.3.6.0 update. I hope you all enjoyed playing it, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.